Perfect. All right, 1 second. I giving you time to set up. All right, let me start by sharing my screen. I think everyone can see it. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 edition of the Open Academy School on Medicine Research and Development. We are really pleased that you are all here today. My name is Marta Campadal. I'm the Open Academy Senior Manager. Um, People are still joining us. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I just hope everyone had a nice start of the week and you feel energized for today's webinar. We are going to start with a brief introduction and then we'll split you into breakout rooms for 5 minutes or so you can get to know each other a little bit better. After that, we'll reconvene and move on to the main presentation. So that's what's in the agenda today. Now, before I let the team introduce themselves, I just like to share a little bit about the legacy of this school. The MRD school, for short, has been running since 2008, back when it was known as the summer school. This makes it our longest running training program. And yeah, over the years, these schools alumni have used their knowledge to engage as patient experts with organizations like the EMA, contributed to healthcare assessments, and share best practices across their organizations. It's really, really something to be proud for. For this year, we've listened carefully to the feedback from our alumni and adapted the school to better suit your needs. We've updated the content and the topics to make this training even more useful and engaging. We are very excited to accompany you this month. So yeah, this is the team that you'll meet in the during the webinars and during the in-person training. Just let me briefly introduce myself again. My name is Marta Campabadal. I'm the Open Academy Senior Manager, joining you from Barcelona. Me and my EURORDIS colleagues will be guiding you through today's training session and will be ensuring that you have all the support that you need. If you have any questions at any point, please feel free to speak. As for my role during this training, I'm here to keep you on track and help answer any queries that come up about the upcoming webinars, the online modules, and also we can also help plan your trip to Barcelona. You can write in the chat if you have any questions, raise your hand, or send me an email if something isn't clear. Gemma, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. So, hello everyone. I'm Gemma Rodriguez, and I'm also based here in Barcelona. And I'm the Open Academy Training Manager here at Aurordis. You probably know me because I've sent you like several emails for the organization of this school. So, as Marta said, if you need anything or you have any question or doubt regarding this school, the pre-training, the webinars and the face-to-face training week, you can just reach me and I will just answer as soon as possible.
Virginie, you want to go next?
Yes, sure. Thank you. And hi, everyone. It's very good to meet you all. So I'm Virginie Hiver. I'm Therapeutic Development Director at Eurodis. I've been working since 2014 in the organization. And since that time, I've been involved with the design and the delivery of the so-called summer school and now MRD training, as Marta explained to you. I'm based in Paris. By training, I'm pharmacist and scientist, and I will be with you the whole time. I will be with you as well in Barcelona together with the colleagues. So very, very, very happy to meet you all.
Thank you. Judith, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Judith Bajet. I'm Mirori Special Engagement and Training Manager, mainly involved and working in the Remedy for All project, which is an EU-funded initiative on drug repurposing, which I believe we will have the chance to explore further in an upcoming webinar. And I'm also based here in Barcelona and really looking forward to meet you all and supporting in anything you need during the training week.
Perfect. And finally, Claudia.
Hi all, very nice to meet you. My name is Claudia Fuchs. I'm based in Italy, differently from my colleagues, and this is my first year at the Open Academy School. And this year I had worked a little bit more behind the scenes because unfortunately I will not be able to join you in Barcelona because I'm currently expecting a baby. So I will be on maternal leave exactly this month, but I hope you enjoy this course. I think it's a very important thing that you all came together and learn more about the things where you're really currently involved as first person. And I wish you all a very nice pre-meetings and a nice course in Barcelona.
Perfect, thank you. Just to recap for those who have joined us a little bit later, if you have any questions about accessing the online modules, about logistics, the webinars, you can contact me or Gemma. If you have any questions about the content of the webinars, the content of the pre-training, if you have any questions about or concepts that you don't understand or you need more information on the specific topics, you can reach out to Virginie, Judith, and Claudia. They are more the staff lead, and they are here to help you understand the pre-training as well. All right, now Gemma is going to go through this year's participants.
Yeah, so now that we have introduced ourselves, it's time to meet the participants. So welcome to the MRD school. You are 40 participants. I think 32 of you are patient advocates and 8 are young researchers. You're coming from 22 different countries. Some of you are based in Europe and some of you are based outside Europe, for example, Canada, Colombia. So here we have a lot of countries representing rare diseases. And all of you are representing and advocating for 27 different rare diseases, or also representing all different kind of rare diseases. So we are very happy to welcome you and to have all this heterogeneity in our group in this MRD school. So what we believe is that it is interesting that as we will spend a lot of time together and we will see each other in the webinars and in the training week in Barcelona, maybe it's nice that you start meeting yourself. So what we will do now is that I will split you in different breakout rooms. We will have like 5 minutes. And it will be nice that you introduce yourself to your colleagues, sharing what's your name, where are you from, and what's your organization, and also what disease are you representing or advocating for. So just 1 second, because I will do these breakout rooms. And yeah, now you will be assigned to these breakout rooms and we will have 5 minutes to do so.
Think people are back from the breakout rooms.
Okay, welcome back everyone. So I think I will continue for this second part. So I hope you had a first start of interaction, and it's good also to build really the group and until we are all together in person. So now we would like to a bit enter more into the content and starting by following up on what Marta was saying. We are organizing this School on Medicine Research and Development since 2008. It has been really a program that was trying to adapt as well as much as possible at the evolution of the field in order really to be equipped to have an impact in terms of this overarching goal of bringing more treatment, development and availability, accessibility and affordability of treatment for rare diseases, for patients living with rare diseases. And really the objective of this school is to give you the key to be able yourself to interact. This is not a goal that this can reach alone. As an organization, we really need all of you, and that's really the spirit of this course, that we are building knowledge and capacity for all of us to be able to better understand the field of therapies development. So on the next one, Marta, thank you. Just to highlight that there is a crucial need indeed to bring more treatment in this field. This is one of the different analyses that we can find on articles that were published analyzing how far we are with therapies indicating for rare diseases. It will not come, I guess, as a surprise for you that we are very far from having treatment for all rare disease. Also, sometimes we have treatment, but they are not addressing all aspects of the diseases, and also comes with maybe side effects and so on. So there is this really big unmet need that we also are looking at in order to try to bring also more adequate treatment. So on the next slide, it's also just to give you an idea that this course is really to give you the basis on what is the development of a medicine looking like, how is clinical research working, what are the ethical aspects of this type of research, how then you are facing the regulatory requirements and all the steps leading to access. But we will really take that as a whole field. We won't focus on one or another treatment. We really want to address everything. And here on this slide, we wanted to give you a glimpse of what type of medicine we will be talking about. So there are the new chemical entities. There are the gene therapies that you probably also are becoming very familiar more and more with. Also the gene-targeted therapies like the antisense oligonucleotide, the cell therapies, so a mix of like more traditional approach to medicines and very advanced therapies. And also we will touch upon, as Claudia and Judith already mentioned, about drug repurposing. So trying to see how old medicine that were maybe developed in other diseases can be now repurposed and efficient for rare disease. So this is a bit also to position ourselves. And on the next slide, it's really to say that reinforce that we will try to have to touch upon all type of medicine to really address the needs of patients of all age. So meaning that when there are specificities in the development in children, when there are specificities with different type of patient population, we really try to address those as well. And overall, just reinforcing what we were all saying, the idea is to really to help you to understand the ecosystem, to really get the keys of these processes that are happening in the medicine development and access process, and to be able to engage with all the stakeholders. So the idea is really to make sure that you can speak with equal voice with any type of stakeholders, and that you are really confident and equipped for that. And just also to reiterate what Marta was saying at the beginning, if you have any questions or if you face any difficulties when you progress with the pre-training, don't hesitate to reach out to us. And I think now it's the time for looking a bit more into that pre-training. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. If you have any questions in the meantime, let us know. You can raise your hand or type your question in the chat. Now, Gemma will go over to the pre-training timeline.
Yeah, so here you can see the timeline. I think that the timeline, you will find it also on the website of the MRD school. So till now, we are starting today, 12th of February, with the first webinar. I think I ask you just to start with module 1 and 2 for the pre-training, but if you haven't done so, you can do it for next webinar. For the next webinar, you will also see that I will send you an article that you need to read before the second webinar on the 21st of March. We have these 4 webinars before the training week, and all of them will be at 12 p.m. European Central Time. So in each webinar before, I will send you a reminder with the modules of the pre-training that you have to do. If you need to read, for example, another training material such as an article or whatever, I will also share with you this. So just for you to know, the second webinar will be the 21st of March, the third, the 29th of April about drug repurposing, and the last webinar, the 6th of May. And then you will have just 1 month, more or less, to rest a little bit, but you will also have a pre-reading to do before we start with the schools on June, between the 2 and the 5th of June here in Barcelona. And just before going on, we are assessing this program. So we want to know your opinion on all the webinars and all the pre-learning and everything that we are doing. So at the end of this webinar, we will share with you the link for a survey. It's a very brief survey. It's just 2 minutes to fill it in, and we will appreciate a lot if you fill the survey, just for us to know how you feel about these webinars and about this school.
Perfect, thank you. And before we go to do a fun exercise, we'll talk a little bit about the pre-training. Gemma already mentioned it, but in emails and during the meeting, but ahead of our in-person training in June, you'll be working through a series of 7 online modules, which should take you about 10 to 12 hours to complete in total. We really recommend starting these modules now rather than leaving them until May. They are really designed to lay the foundation for all the presentations and discussions that you'll be having during the face-to-face sessions in Barcelona. If you have any questions about the content in the modules, feel free to raise them during these webinars. We'll always have a dedicated Q&A time if you want to go over some concepts that you've learned in the pre-training. If you run into any technical issues or need help progressing through the modules, just drop me an email. Some modules might be a bit more challenging than others, but don't let it discourage you. We are here to support you every step of the way. And yeah, if you have questions, you need help, let us know. I just want to pause the slideshow for a minute because I want to show you the school page that you've probably seen, but just in case. So in all the emails that Gemma has sent, the link is also in the chat. It's the link to this website. It's the school page. Here you'll find all the information necessary to progress through the training. At the top, you'll have information about the webinars, the date, and the Zoom link. The Zoom link is the same link for all 4 webinars. Just go back here and click on this link. Also, after this session, here you'll find the link to the recording of this session and a link to the slides. Below, you have the e-learning. You click here, it will open on a new slide. And this pre-training will save your progress. So you can come one day, do a few minutes, close the session, and come back, and your progress will be saved. And below, here are the modules that we recommend you do before each webinar. And here you have a link to the in-person training, the program. We may do some small changes, but if you want a sneak peek, you can go here and download the program. If you need help to prepare your trip to Barcelona, we've created a document with information about the hotel, how to get there, transport, what you can find near the hotel, etc. Then you have different boxes with information about the faculty, the speakers, the experts that you'll meet in Barcelona for the in-person training. You can read more about them. And at the bottom, you'll find mine and Gemma's email address. So in case of doubt, always come back to this page or let us know, drop us an email if we can help you with anything. And going back to the presentation, I have two screens here. Virginie is going to introduce us to the next exercise.
Yeah, thank you. But I was wondering maybe if anyone has question on
please.
before, if you want clarification.
I'm
Yeah.
I
checking.
was just wondering, is there ever going to be material like that, or we're doing in the modules and webinars that we can print? Because I really love to print stuff off and write my own notes, especially if we're going to be in lectures. So is any of the material available to print when we're going to be in Barcelona so we can write on them, or are they, protected so we can't?
You can print the e-learning. There should be an option somewhere where you can print it. If you cannot find it, please let me know. I can export a PDF for you.
Yeah, could you?
It,
Because
it may look a little bit weird, losing all the interactivity buttons, but the main text and content, you'll be able to read it, no problem. And during
I
the
wasn't able to find it. So if you could have it, maybe
Yeah.
I'm just not looking in the right place, because obviously
Absolutely.
you're having to expand boxes, and then so maybe it's not very clear where it is. But yeah, I'd really appreciate it if we could get it.
Yeah.
At the end of each module, you can download a PDF, but only at the end. I did not manage to find another way to download it earlier on. But when you finish the module, you get a PDF that you can download, at least for the module 2.
Okay, thank you.
I can export a full PDF with all the content. If anyone is interested, just let me know. During the intensive training, we are going to give you some notebooks with some images and charts that you may need. And you can also take notes on that. But no, the content of the pre-training is not protected. You can, print it out, no problem.
Thank you.
And congrats, Alex, for being already in module 2. So I don't know how many of you have already been able to start, but it's good. It's good if you could. And and also I just wanted to reiterate what Gemma and Marta said. No, I mean, no stress. It's really we try to adapt it. The best we could, this pre-training, but it's also to be taken like an introduction. So if you don't understand everything, or if some parts are a bit more tricky than other, I'm thinking for me the statistics is always a bit tricky, for example. I mean, it's all right, and it's really to give you all the different pieces that will be helpful for you, and you can always come back to those, and also they will make more sense once we progress with the other webinar and with the on-site week. So yeah, take it at your own pace, and yeah, tell us if you really struggle with some aspects. All right, so now time for what I hope you will find fun exercise. But what we try to do is to represent as a scheme, as this drawing, the medicine life cycle. So this therapeutic development path that we want to get you familiar with, and to acquire some of the guiding principle on how it works, or also how we could improve it in order to have better and more accessible medicines. So what we've done, as you can see here, is to empty all the books. So the idea of this circle is that when we start with a therapeutic development, all start with an idea, then there is a generation of information, of evidence, which then are collated in order to prove the efficacy and the safety of this medicine, and to pass all the steps that are required to get the medicine on the market, and then to get it available for patients. Just to start with the exercise, I have one first question, because we have put something in the dark blue box, and I wanted to ask if you have any idea of what that could be. How do we start a development, a therapeutic development, in your opinion, especially in rare disease field? Yeah, Catherine, I saw your hand.
Well, we come up with idea. You know, we have to have an idea first. And we go from idea, then this is probably a bit more of a forward step. Then we think of, we have the idea as in a disease or an area we want to target. Then we look at the molecule that we want to target that either carry the drug or that will affect the drug to affect the disease or condition that we're looking at.
Yeah, no, thanks. That's a good answer. I can take other, like, I don't know if I see you in the right order. Maria first, I guess.
I think you just start with the patient needs. You just see what are the unmet needs of the patients.
I like that. What were the other points from? Is it Lutgard? Yeah.
Lut.
Lut. Okay.
Yes, Lut. I had the same meaning. It all starts with the patients. What does the patient need? And always saying nothing about this without this. And so yes, we start at the patient.
Thank you. And Alessandra, you had something.
It could also start with a discovery, something that we didn't know and that we came across and that could change things for us. So I think a discovery could also be the starting point.
Thank you. Thank you. You're all right. So that's what we wanted to highlight is indeed what some of you have said. So Marta, if you want to give us the answer, that yes, everything you said is true, ideas, discovery, scientific discoveries, but what we really want to highlight as a patient community is that everyone should keep in mind the patient needs, and that's something we need to also maybe reinforce and restate every time we speak with the other stakeholders, that we should always have also the end in mind when starting a therapeutic development. So it starts with the patient needs, but also we should have it as a guiding principle that the objective of every development is to at least fulfill partially or as best as we can this primarily identified initially patient needs. Okay, thanks. Then I think on the now more fun, and as we've done in the beginning of the webinar, we will again split you in small groups with more time this time, because we have this exercise to be continued. And on the next slide, you will see what you will retrieve when you go in the small groups. So we will provide you with this template. We've helped you a bit. So some of the boxes we've added some items, like at the end of the development, when we are reaching the regulatory setting, we placed first authorization, HTA assessment, reimbursement. These are the steps that are happening at the end of the development. But there we have left some boxes empty, and you can find the little box that are at the bottom. And the exercise will be to take each of them and try to place them in the right order. So also, don't be scared by the acronyms. It's on purpose that we left them also to get you more familiar with the fact that we use a lot of acronyms in the medicine development field. Not that it's good. We should chase acronyms as much as possible and try to make them more explicit, but it's also like a kind of to get you entertained. So with this, I think if you all fine with the exercise, unless you have any question, we'll send you in the breakout. You will find the link to access this template that we have just presented to you. And we see you back in 15 minutes. And my colleague Judith will come and visit you in the different breakout rooms in case you have any question also on how to fulfill this exercise. Is that okay, or anyone has a...
Yep.
Yeah?
Go to
Super.
the Google Doc that is in the chat and go to your slide depending on the number of your breakout room. Okay, we'll meet again here in 15 minutes. If there are questions in the meantime, you can, I think, send us a message and we'll join your chat. All right. Good luck, everyone. Gemma, when you're ready.
See you in 15 minutes. Good.
Welcome back. I see people slowly going back to the main room. Yeah, just give everyone a few more seconds.
Yeah.
$27. Yeah, let's wait a few more seconds. I think there are three rooms that are still working on the exercise.
Just 10 seconds and
Could
everyone
you,
will be here.
sorry, can you see if our room, we're from room 4, if our results have been saved? Because
Yeah,
do
we'll
you
check.
see? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
All good.
Okay, I think
Even
everybody is
with
back
colors.
now. Everybody's back. All right, let's continue, Virginie.
Yeah, okay, super. Well, welcome back. How was it? Some of you seems to have struggled a bit. Some have been super quick. Also, we have to apologize because the instruction you were missing some of the items that I had presented to you in the first slide. But overall, I have to congratulate all of you because I think you did really great job. So we'll show you the result, but you can also comment if there are some aspects on which you have struggled more than others. So the results are this is what is a, let's say, general understanding of the therapeutic development. So as you said, we start with patient needs. There is always a need to understand the disease, to identify the target, and then comes in play the product discovery. So which type of molecules, which type of biologicals can really have a match with the target that was identified. There is the non-clinical phase. So that's something you will also see a bit during the pre-training. When we have sufficient proof, that's the first in human ready moment. And again, we've put all the acronyms at the bottom, left bottom of the slide, so that you can get familiar with them. Then that's when the first in human stage is passed. That's when we start the clinical trials in order to get the proof of concept, the pivotal data, which are the really like moment where we are more and more confident that the medicine is not only efficacious and safe, but really is promising to be granted regulatory approval, that the data are sufficiently presented. Then you have all the regulatory phase, and market access, this big bucket of, depending on the country, HTA, reimbursement, pricing. So all of these concepts that we will see in much more details during the pre-training and on-site. And then the delivery to the patients, not forgetting that at this point there is still monitoring of the medicine when they are available to the patients, when they are not anymore in the trial phase. And that's what we call pharmacovigilance. And that will be also a topic that we will address during the course. So, well, I hope it was also a way to get to know each of you a bit better. I don't know if at this stage you have major question, or if there was like, if you want to share like some of the divergence you might have had in the group.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to raise my hand or something in
It's
the
fine.
Zoom.
You can
Okay.
unmute. It's all right.
Yeah, we had a small discussion about the FHA ready and the human proof of concept. I'm not seeing her now, but one of our Blair, you maybe you can explain. Thank you.
Yeah, I had a question as to why first in human ready would come before a proof of concept.
Yeah, it's this moment where you have finished with the non-human tests, so either in animal models, either in alternative models, and then you consider that you have enough information to start to administrate the drug to a human patient. So that's really this point of go or no go. And then during the clinical trials, you are demonstrating that you have your proof of concept. So that's why we place it in that order.
Okay, so you could even add another box before first in human ready for non-human proof of concept, right?
Yeah, that's the proof of principle. That's this
Got it.
non-clinical
Okay.
proof of principle that it's exactly what you are describing.
Okay.
When we have demonstrated in non-human setting. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for explaining.
Thank you for the question. And yeah, and I also here you placed also the box on repurposing. Again, we will have another webinar on repurposing. It's like a shorter route, so to speak, because it's an approaches in which you already know some of the characteristic of the drug, but still it's not an easy route always, because you still have to demonstrate that in the new indication you still have an efficacy. Maybe you are also missing some of the data depending on the population in which you repurpose. If you are a drug that was used in adult and you want to repurpose it in children, then you will also have to take into account this new parameter. But all good, thanks. I hope also, yeah, that it was a good way for you to start to interact. And now we have a few more things to let you know about the next steps. And
Yeah,
Marta,
just
please.
a brief mention of the next webinar, which is going to be in the 21st of March. Continue with your pre-training, and I'll send you the PDF after this call. So if you want to print it out and take notes, that will be useful for you. Maybe Virginie, you can say a couple of words about what they can
Webinar
expect.
2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
webinar 2.
Thank you. So yeah, indeed, webinar 2 will be led by Dan O'Connor, who is one of the facilitators that we have been working with since several years now. And it will be about, as you've seen in the program, analyzing an article. So that's why you will have this article in advance so that you can read through. Again, we invite you to really read it, because otherwise you will be a bit lost during the webinar. But if you don't understand everything, if you are struggling with some of the part, because it's a true scientific peer-reviewed article, so it's a bit long with some of the wording that you might find maybe difficult to go through. But yeah, please read it. And during the webinar, then we'll go back to what it is exactly a scientific article, how it is constructed, what are the things in there that are important when we are reading an article in order to understand the outcome of a clinical trials. So really, as much as you can read it, at least the summary, the discussion part, to really get familiarized with the article, and during the webinar, then we'll really guide you through, and it should become even more clearer. And I think that's it from me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it from all of us.
Okay,
If there
good.
are no questions in the chat, I think we'll just finish here. In the chat, I pasted the link to the survey. If you can take 1 minute to fill it out. We'll be sharing the same survey after each webinar. So it really helps us keep track of the progress and your expectations and your satisfaction with the webinars. If there are no further questions, I'll just stop sharing. And I wish you a very nice day. Bon appetit if you haven't eaten already. It's always good to finish a little bit earlier. And yeah, see you at the next webinar, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Lovely to meet
Good
you
luck
all.
with the print
everyone. See
training.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Yes,
Enjoy your day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye
Enjoy your day
bye.
too. Bye bye.